BB851, turn right, heading 180. 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established 27.
A Boeing NMA has been missing for some time now. We've not really had any concrete updates surrounding whether or not the aircraft will be going ahead. In addition, we've not heard a whole lot of rumours and or news. However, that has now changed following a report by the Wall Street Journal, which continues on from speculation that occurred. According to the Wall Street Journal, Boeing is now in discussions with Rolls-Royce over supplying the engines for their new mid-size airplane, known more commonly as the NMA, or in the past dubbed as the 797. An aircraft that would ideally seat between 220 to 270 passengers. Of course, these things can change, and may have changed given the global pandemic, altering things slightly. However, what remains true is Boeing is exploring the options for a new middle-sized aircraft that could go up against the A321XLR and also replace the likes of the Boeing 757 and 767. According to the latest update, in addition, Boeing is still very much in early discussions with Rolls-Royce and even executives within Boeing themselves over such an aircraft. This, if anything, highlights that Boeing may have very well backtracked on their decisions they had already made a year or so back before the 737 MAX crisis and, of course, the global pandemic. The report notes that Boeing is yet to enter into discussions with airlines and or lessors over the aircraft. Something that in 2018 we could say was going on with airlines already actively coming out and voicing their desire for an aircraft like that to come out from Boeing. However, like always, things do change. Questions, though, have continued to arise over whether or not there is still demand or the same type of demand for a new middle-of-the-market aircraft. Analysts were forecasting pre-pandemic that the middle-of-the-market sector could see up to 4,000 units ordered if executed perfectly. The concern is now with travel demand plummeting, whether that'll be the same and whether it'll be worth launching. So what's been the real response from this? Well, an analyst said that Boeing even thinking about launching a new aircraft in times like these are absurd. However, right now, serious questions have arisen over whether or not customers are fully trusting Boeing anymore. It's not something I'm trying to fabricate to say fit an agenda that just isn't present. However, given the crisis with the 737 MAX, we've already had some customers come out and note that they were switching to other types and moving away from Boeing, or at the very least, just exploring all options, if you will. A big move. Thankfully for Boeing, though, their core customers haven't really left yet. That could be looking to change, as I'll discuss in an up-and-coming video. Boeing is currently in a catch-22 situation. Boeing needs to release an NMA because they currently have nothing to compete directly with the A321 line over at Airbus, which has been doing exceedingly well. However, by launching a new aircraft at this time, it would cripple them even further, and they're already in a state of turmoil. It positions them in a rather uncomfortable place. What are your thoughts on the news that Boeing is currently working with Rolls-Royce over powering their new aircraft in the middle of the market sector? Let me know down below in the comments, and as always, thank you very much for your continued support.